Hey team, what's up? I thought I would do a quick pros and cons video of living in Bali because I get these questions a lot. So yeah, I thought I'd share with you my personal pros and cons of living in Bali. I hope you enjoy. Let's start with the pros. Let's start on a positive note. I don't want to be negative Nelly from the start. So I would say number one is just the natural beauty of the island. Like, yeah, being a UK girly, we don't have access to this kind of scenery there at all. I mean, the UK landscape is also really pretty, but in a different way. You don't get that like island tropical life, obviously, which is something I particularly really enjoy. So yeah, that's why it is a positive for me here. Number two, and I think this is a big one for a lot of people, is affordable cost of living. So it really depends. It can range significantly. If you're on a budget, you could probably secure a rental for £300 a month. If you have a bit more disposable income and you want to live in a nice villa, you still only really need between £600 to £800 a month. That's, well, I'd say like £500 and £600 is maybe if you're sharing with other people. If you want to live in a one bed villa on your own, I would probably say like £800 to £1,000. But again, it just depends on the quality of the space and where you want to live. But for sure, Bali is way more affordable than many other Western countries. Like, let's give some examples of food. If you went out for breakfast, you could eat for anywhere between, again, it ranges, but like you could easily eat for £2. Coffee, £2 versus London, where it's like £5 or £6. Generally, your cost of living, your expenses are much lower. Most people rent a motorbike here, and I mean, that can also be like £80 per month versus what you would spend on a car elsewhere. So yeah, I think cost of living is a huge positive for many people that have the luxury of being able to work online and live here. Number three is a big one for me and probably, yeah, the biggest positive for me to living in Bali. I always say for me because it's so opinion based and people get so offended online. But for me, it is the community and the like-minded people you meet. I think here, when you live here and you're not just on holiday and you meet other expats that are living here, they're very much on a similar wavelength to you, on a similar path in life, and they have quite a positive outlook on life. You just meet people from all over the world, and as cliche as it sounds, that you really do grow and expand as a person. I'm a completely different girl to the girl that left the UK 3 years ago, and it is honestly because of, not just because of this, but mostly because of the people I've met and the experiences I've gained whilst interacting with these people and traveling. But yeah, from a community aspect as well, like you can meet someone and the same day you feel like you've known them forever. People will take you under their wing, they will look after you, they will support you, they want to see you succeed, and they will just look out for you because they're in like a similar position as you as well. So from that perspective as well, like the community is really strong, it's really thriving, and it's definitely a huge positive for me living in Bali. Also, whilst there is a thriving community amongst expats, there's also a really thriving local community amongst the Balinese. They are some of the friendliest people you will ever meet. They are so kind and they are so nice to be around on a daily basis, and I feel like their energy lifts up us as well. Again, it kind of just goes back to the energy of the island, and it is generally positive. You see the local Balinese every day just having such a positive outlook on life with the bare minimum. and they don't have to be as kind and generous as they are, but they really are. And like, just being in and amongst that is just so nice to be a part of every day. My last point, so this is the fifth and final, I'm going to do 5 points each, is just generally the quality of life that you have here kind of relates to the affordable cost of living, but because of that you can have a really nice life. You can live in really nice accommodation. As I mentioned before as well, like the scenery, you have access to incredible beaches and just incredible scenery on a daily basis. Under this topic as well, a big thing for me is just like the laid back culture. I used to live in London. I actually lived in London for 4 years, and I really didn't thrive in that hustle and bustle environment. I've actually also heard that things like dental care, childcare, and services like that are much more affordable here as well, and still of good quality. I haven't really tried any of that. Don't have a child, and to be honest with you, I've not been to the dentist since I've been here. It's one of those things that you're supposed to do as an adult. Like, my mum used to take me there twice a year, but when I'm an adult, I'm like, who needs a dentist? Anyway, shall we go on to the cons? I think so. One more thing. I didn't touch on visas, but it's very easy and very affordable to get a visa here as well, which I think attracts a lot of people here. So a con, number one, I would say, like, it's becoming overly populated, Bali for sure, and because it's a big tourist, or like a popular tourist destination, it's just becoming a bit crowded. It definitely impacts the traditional side of Bali and what you would traditionally expect to experience when you come on holiday here. I've been told that Lombok, an island next to Bali, is now how Bali used to be like 5 years ago. Whereas, like, as you know, there's been such a rise in popularity towards Bali. So it's not, I know, I'm very aware it's not how it used to be. So it's kind of lost that traditional, tranquil aspect in certain areas like Canggu, Uluwatu and Ubud, but it just depends what you want. But yeah, like on that point as well, it's very westernized now, which can be a pro and a con. It's very easy to settle here as a Westerner because of that, but then yeah, it's lost its like Balinese charm for sure. Point number 2 is traffic. Traffic can be a bit chaotic. Don't come to Bali if you're not prepared to ride a bike. Like, in my opinion, you won't get far in a car. You need to ride a bike, and yes, in overly populated areas, traffic can of course be a problem. And yeah, generally just a bit chaotic on the roads. And I know a lot of people don't like that. Again, it's one of those things that when you live here, you just immerse yourself into. There's obviously not a lot of like health and safety on the roads. Bike accidents are a big concern for a lot of people because the roads are a bit chaotic. You have to learn their way of driving, and to be honest, there really isn't any rules. It's just go, give way. Number 3, I have wrote down illness. Most people I know get sick on a regular basis. It's just how it is. I got really lucky. Like, I was here from January until June, and I didn't really get sick once. But yeah, touch wood, I have not been too bad, but it is just like a general occurrence. It's like, oh, your mate's sick again. All right, cool. Rest up, I'll see you in a few days. I actually didn't think this was going to be a big one for me, but when you are here long term in rainy season, it sucks. So another con for me is rainy season. I actually moved out in rainy season, and there just seemed to be like a black cloud over Bali for a long time, and it really does impact the energy and the mood here. The reason why rainy season is like a bit annoying is it rains all the time, and that impacts just your day to day. You don't think it's going to be as impactful as it is, but the main reason that it is impactful is because you're on your scooter most of the time. If you were like, yeah, in a car going from A to B, it's not as bad, but it's like you might get yourself ready for the day and then you're like, for fuck's sake, I need to make sure I've got my raincoat in there, make sure I've got like waterproof shoes that you wouldn't really want to wear like socks and trainers on your bike, so then you need to take a pair of like flip-flops or sandals or something that you don't mind getting wet. And then even though you do wear your rainy jacket, like it doesn't cover you completely. Like you just turn up an absolute hot mess when you're trying to get from A to B. And also the downpours like come out of nowhere. So like I've been on my scooter so many times where I'm just riding and I'm not prepared for the rain and I just get soaked, and then I'm sat in like soaked clothes whilst in like a coffee shop. So I know it sounds like something quite minuscule, but it is quite impactful when you live here long term. I actually had a friend visit me in March and he landed and we really wanted to meet up, and he was like a 20-minute scoot away and the rain was so bad. It's also not safe. Like obviously it's not ideal in terms of how much it makes you look like a piece of shit when you turn up at your destination, but also the main thing is like it's not safe riding in it. The downpours are extremely heavy, it floods easily if you're riding in the dark, there's so many potholes on the roads, and yeah, basically my friend came and it was his first time in Bali, I think. Yeah, so when I said that like I couldn't meet him because of the rain, that sounds so silly, especially being from the UK, like you just push through the rain. Like it's normal. But here when it rains, it's like most of the time you need to stay inside, or yeah, you can't get from A to B just because yeah, it's not safe. So yeah, rainy season is a huge one. Okay, lastly, a con. I think the fact that Bali like isn't normal life, and I've touched on this already. Obviously living in Bali has lots of pros when you are living in your little island bubble, your little Delulu island bubble. But yes, I'm very aware it is not real life. And that can come with negatives because your view on reality is shifted. Some people refuse to ever go back to normal life and stay in Bali forever and live here. And like, that's okay. But it's hard when you live here and you adjust to this lifestyle, which gives you so many perks, and then you have to like transition back to normal life. You might feel a bit lost and a bit overwhelmed, which for sure would happen to me if I went back to the UK, and I'm very aware of that. So yeah, I think the fact that it's not normal life, I mean, again, it can be a positive and a negative, but just be aware of the negatives that would come with that. So that is it. I think to summarize, Bali is a great escape for many people. It's a great place to live, short term or long term. It definitely has many positives, but as always with any country, it doesn't come without its negatives. I think it's a really good place for remote workers and people that are willing to adapt into this beautifully chaotic lifestyle. And I'm very aware it is not for everyone, but hopefully that gives you a bit of an insight. And let's wrap it up here. I'm gonna love ya and leave ya. I will see you in the next YouTube video. Thank you so much for being here. If you do enjoy the videos, make sure you subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Lots of love.